Hello everyone, my name is Laura and I am Deb Crowe's daughters. For those of you who don't know me, I'm also a self-care ambassador. Today I wanted to talk about what my self-care routine looks like and why I think that self-care can be a challenging thing to start and implement into your life. To me, self-care is all about alignment. And alignment, I think, kind of relates to three different things. So mentally, physically, and spiritually. Mentally being checking in with yourself every day. How is your mood? How is your mental health? If you are struggling with a mental health disorder, how is that going? Are you still implementing your strategies, your coping strategies? Are you going to therapy? Are you taking your pills? The things like that. And physically would be eating healthy, having a balance though, not being restrictive, and working out or moving your body. And then spiritually would be going to church, meditating, taking a minute out of the day to kind of just feel grateful, silence, going outside, being with nature, things like that. I find that when I'm going through a hard time in my life, I've neglected all three of those things. And I think that it's so easy to burn out when you aren't doing those things and when you ultimately aren't taking care of yourself. As a student and as a female, it can be very hard to not compare yourself to people and to overload yourself with things because everyone else is kind of doing that. I think that we live in a society where you're supposed to be tearing women down instead of building each other up and empowering each other. And we should be celebrating each other instead of coming from a place of jealousy and anger that we didn't do that or we're not doing that. And I think that we all need to kind of realize that everyone's on their own path and everyone's on their own journey. And there's kind of this age timeline I've figured out that at this age we should be doing this and at this age we should be doing that. And I definitely have been breaking the mold of that, and I'm definitely not following the typical age timeline. And I think that's oh my god, the printer just went off, that scared me. I think that that's okay, because everyone has their own path and their own destination, and just because it takes you longer or you're going to school later, that doesn't make you less of a person, that doesn't make you less smart, that shouldn't even be a comparable variable into your life. And I think kind of accepting where you are in life is kind of part of taking care of yourself and your self-care routine, and realizing that what you're doing is what you should be doing, and kind of celebrating that and not tearing yourself down for that. My tips for self-care for students, we're going back to school. Today's my first day. I think it's really easy to get overwhelmed really easily. I know going into my second year, I'm already feeling very overwhelmed, but I'm kind of taking steps to kind of break that anxiety. And I've, been making some schedules and some timelines. And I think that having a really good schedule for school, but also for yourself, I think that it's easy to follow a schedule. So I think that implementing things into a schedule for taking care of yourself is kind of crucial for students, because it's so easy to not take care of yourself and just focus on school and just be drilling school, the readings, the assignments, the extracurricular, I can't say that word, but you know what I mean. Those activities that you do in addition to going to school. So I think actually putting in your phone into your schedule that, okay, in the morning, every morning I'm going to go for a run, or every morning I'm going to take 10 minutes and write down what I'm grateful for, or every night I'm going to do this. Just kind of taking I think that when people say take care of yourself every single day, that seems like an impossible, unattainable thing. But even just taking 10 minutes to just do something, whatever it is, something that you enjoy, something that brings you joy, and something that's for you, I think is so needed. And when we burn out, or when stuff is kind of hitting the fan in our own personal life, it's so easy to not be doing those things. I'm a very giving person. I give until I have nothing left for myself, and that's definitely something I'm working on. But self-care can be hard because you want to be taking care of everyone else, but at the end of the day, you need to be taking care of yourself as well. You kind of need to be putting that into your own equation of people that you're taking care of. And I think that self-care can be so challenging when you don't have self-love, because self-care is essentially self-love. You're practicing that when you're taking care of yourself. You're telling yourself that you love yourself enough to take care of yourself. So I think that self-care can be a really hard thing to start if you don't love yourself. And I think that, doing small things every single day to kind of build that up is a great way to start. But I think that, cutting out a portion of your day for yourself can be something really challenging and really hard to do for people that are busy or that don't have self-love. But at the end of the day, it's something that's really needed for you to ultimately survive, I think. I have 2 different self-care days. I think they're both essential. When I'm going through a really hard time and I'm having a lot of emotions, I let myself feel all those emotions. I give myself a day, or to be honest, a couple of days, 4 days of just, if I can, if I don't have school or work or whatever, of just letting myself feel what needs to be felt. Just kind of locking myself in my room, turning on Netflix, and just kind of feeling what I'm feeling. But then I also make sure to follow that up with, I dust myself off and I kind of put myself back out there. So there's the kind of day where you do the Netflix binge, and then there's the day after where you take yourself out of your bed, you put yourself into the shower, and that is your only achievement of the day, but that's okay. I think that self-care doesn't have to be like this big thing, but it also isn't just taking bubble baths. But sometimes if the only thing that you can accomplish that day is taking a bubble bath, that is also okay. It doesn't have to be this big thing. But self-care can also be really messy. Like, as we've learned, I know some of the other ladies have talked about, self-care can also be cutting out relationships that aren't healthy, putting up boundaries. It's not always something easy to do, that those aren't easy things to accomplish, and they may not even be things that you want to do, but they're for the greater good for yourself. But yeah, I think that what I want everyone to take away from this is that self-care can literally just be picking yourself up off the floor after you just had a crying meltdown or a Netflix binge or, whatever, and just kind of starting again, having that shower, starting whatever project again. And I think that self-care is crucial after failure, because we all are going to fail and we are all not going to succeed, but you pick yourself up again and you try again. And that is self-care. You put yourself back out there and you tell yourself that you got this. So that is kind of my self-care routine. And so I hope to see everyone at the conference, and I'm emceeing it. I'm so excited. We have so many amazing speakers, so many vendors, and I think it's a really kind of important day, but I also think it's a challenging day to kind of say, you know what, I deserve a day to practice self-love. Because coming to this conference is choosing to practice self-love and self-care, taking a day out of your schedule to come to an event to kind of be there for yourself. It's kind of showing up for yourself. So I think that even if you can't come to this conference, I think implementing self-care and being there for yourself, showing up for yourself, because it's so easy to show up for everyone else but yourself. But I think the day that you start showing up for yourself is the day that you're going to find your life is going to kind of turn around and be better. So that's my little message of the day, and I hope everyone has a great day.